This is ABC7 News at 11, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Haley Wilkes. Thank you for joining us tonight. It is almost the end of one of the most memorable elections in history. Both presidential candidates, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, are wrapping up a marathon final day of campaigning. And it's been all about the battleground states. Donald Trump holding 5 rallies and Hillary Clinton headlining 4. Both are wrapping things up with late-night rallies. Trump and his running mate Mike Pence in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Hillary Clinton in Philadelphia. During today's rally, Donald Trump pointing to those neck-and-neck battleground states and his standing room only crowds as proof that he will win. Making his closing argument, Trump saying he is proud to be going it alone. He says celebrities aren't necessary, and not at all sounding like an underdog.
We're winning Ohio. We're winning Iowa. We're winning, we think, New Hampshire. We're going to do great in New Hampshire. I hear we're winning North Carolina big.
Earlier today, thousands of people packed Roberts Arena in Sarasota, waiting in line for hours. As for the Democrats, a big crowd in Philadelphia. Both President Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama joined Hillary Clinton along with her husband Bill and daughter Chelsea. Also a big name in music, of course, Bruce Springsteen made his first appearance on the campaign trail on behalf of Clinton. Clinton thanked the Obamas for their service to the nation and stressed how important this election is and urged people to vote.
What will we decide is on the ballot, because although my name and my opponent's name may be on the ballot, every issue you care about is on that ballot.
Lady Gaga, John Bon Jovi, and former President Bill Clinton will all be on hand for a midnight rally for Hillary in Raleigh, North Carolina. Earlier today, Vice President Joe Biden, Dr. Jill Biden, and singer Jimmy Buffett performed at a Clinton rally in St. Petersburg. And with just one day to go before Election Day, we are down to just a few hours left. 2 new polls show a virtual tie with Hillary Clinton holding a narrow lead over Donald Trump. CNN's poll of polls gives Clinton 46% of the vote compared to 42% for Trump. And according to the latest ABC News Washington Post poll, Clinton leads Trump 47 to 43%. And besides the very heated presidential race, many other key races will be decided tomorrow. ABC7's Rick Adams joins us now with a look at how people are feeling on this election eve. Rick.
Yeah, Haley, if you could believe it or not, we're just under 8 hours away now from the polls opening. Folks here on the Suncoast are very excited about the election.
Whether you vote for Hillary or whether you vote for Trump, I just want you to vote.
It's no secret who Sandra LaRoche is voting for. A large crowd of Trump supporters lined up on US 41 at Bayfront Park in Sarasota on this election eve. This on the heels of a visit from the presidential candidate earlier in the day. At the Sarasota County Democratic headquarters, a few miles down the road, it's been a busy day for all the volunteers and workers.
We have a lot of people here who are making calls, and we're getting a lot of calls from the community also.
Sarasota County's Republican State Committeeman Christian Ziegler says he and his party are optimistic about Election Day, from the top of the ticket all the way down.
I'm expecting Sarasota to deliver a big victory for Donald Trump. And I think Florida will go Donald Trump, and then he'll end up winning the election.
The Democrats say not so fast. They are feeling really good about their presidential candidate Hillary Clinton, as well as all of their state and local candidates. They say they are going to keep working until the polls close Tuesday night.
We're going to keep knocking on doors, making those telephone calls. We just don't want to take anything for granted, but we're feeling really positive.
Right now, the presidential race in Florida is neck and neck, while Clinton has about a 4-point lead in most national polls. Palmetto resident Bill Sapo and his wife will be happy when this election is finally over with, but they do understand the significance of this year's election.
My wife has been on the internet and her iPhone 24/7, trying to follow everything, and it's a critical time in our country.
By the way, the Democratic Watch Party will be tomorrow night at Marita Jack, while the Republicans will be at the Hyatt in Sarasota. Haley, back to you.
It will be an exciting night. Thank you, Rick. Some voters in Sarasota County will decide the next mayor of Venice tomorrow. Incumbent John Hollick is running for re-election, but he faces competition from blogger Frankie Abruzino, who runs the popular website The Scoop News. Abruzino says he wants controllable and sustainable growth, better management of the city budget, and more. The mayor, John Hollick, says he is also for sustainable growth and says he has helped balance the city budget. Council member seats 5, 6, and 7 are also on the ballot. Florida voters will decide whether Senator Marco Rubio should serve a second term. Incumbent Republican Rubio is facing Democratic U.S. Representative Patrick Murphy. Voters will also pick at least 8 new U.S. House members. There are also 4 constitutional amendments on the ballot. 1 for solar energy, 1 for the use of medical marijuana, a tax exemption for disabled first responders, and a homestead tax exemption for certain low-income seniors. Tomorrow may be Election Day, but more than 30% of Americans have already voted. In fact, here in Florida, more people have voted early than turned out for the entire year 2000 election. Early voting ended yesterday in Florida, and the numbers show so far 6.4 million Floridians voted early or absentee. Just 5.9 million total people voted in the disputed 2000 election between George W. Bush and Al Gore. And polls will be open tomorrow from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. If you still need to vote, remember to bring a valid ID to your polling location. All day tomorrow, both Sarasota County Area Transit and Manatee County Area Transit are offering free bus rides on Election Day. And be sure to stay with ABC7 all day and tomorrow night for the latest election news. We will be bringing you continuous coverage on our website, on social media, and on our newscasts throughout the evening. And now it's time to shift gears from politics to the weather, and let's head over to Bob.
Should be really exciting tomorrow, not in the weather world, but in the world of politics, it looks like. We are looking at basically good weather here, some rough weather moving through the central United States. This area of low pressure will eventually swing a front our way and will bring some changes, but that won't happen until later this week. We'll talk more about that front that is headed on in our way a little later this week. 67 degrees right now. It feels nice out there, though. The dew point low at 59 degrees, the humidity at 76%. We have an east wind, and the pressure still continues to rise. We have an area of high pressure which continues to dominate the weather just off the eastern United States, and right here is a low pressure area that continues to develop and move off to the northeast, and then the attendant cold front will get close to us, as I said, later on this week. But right now, no rain to speak of. Should be great weather for the election day throughout the area and throughout the state, for that matter. Winds out of the east, northeast, anywhere from 5 to 10 miles an hour up and down the coast. More on your weather forecast coming up in a few minutes. Haley?
Thank you, Bob. The Diverging Diamond project at the University Parkway and I-75 interchange is causing confusion and delays. But there is some encouraging news tonight. The Florida Department of Transportation announcing a major part of the project is just about complete. On Wednesday night, crews will begin the work necessary to shift southbound traffic on I-75 onto the newly constructed bridge over University Parkway. Each direction will eventually have 4 lanes, and 1 will be considered an auxiliary lane. Once that is complete, the northbound bridge is up next. Our seasonal visitors are already starting to return to the Suncoast, but how do we keep tourists coming back for decades to come? Tonight, as part of our Suncoast 2037 series, we're looking at how the tourism industry may change over the next 20 years. Right now, a lot of marketing efforts are spent promoting our gorgeous beaches. But the president and CEO of the Greater Sarasota Chamber of Commerce says we need to also invest in other unique amenities, everything from our growing arts and culture community to fine dining and sports complexes like the new BMX track and the Nathan Benderson Park rowing facility.
It's kind of identifying those assets that allow us to diversify the focus of the tourism from a geographic standpoint. What unique assets do we have in each portion of the county that we can leverage to draw interest?
Cooper took over as president and CEO of the chamber last month. For more stories on how the Suncoast could change by the year 2037, just head to our website, mysuncoast.com. And straight ahead, Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with the official Suncoast forecast. Plus, more chilling details coming out of the case of a possible serial killer in South Carolina. Another victim has been found. And relief for some businesses as the recovery from Hurricane Matthew takes a big step forward.
Hurricane season is here, so when severe weather threatens, count on the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7.
We bring you storm warnings faster and with more detail than ever before.
And track storms right down to your neighborhood.
On air, online, and on your mobile device, turn to the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7. We're here for you.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 1-800-764-8708. That's 1-800-764-8708.
Since 1928, Kerastan has been setting the standard in carpets and rugs, producing non-allergenic wools that won't promote the growth of bacteria or dust mites like other carpets will. Kerastan wools actively remove contaminants from the indoor air, making your home healthier. And there are many colors and patterns and textures to choose from. Come see for yourself.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose, big time. Luckily, you can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPB.
They say good things come to those that wait. Well, you've waited long enough. You deserve to feel fabulous in your fashionable new Fiat 500X from Alfa Romeo Fiat in Sarasota. Boldly innovative, seductively stylish. Fiat gives you everything you'd expect from a capable utility vehicle, like a spacious interior and advanced safety systems, designed and built like a sexy little sportster. Don't wait any longer. You deserve to feel fabulous. Get a new Fiat at Alfa Romeo Fiat of Sarasota.
Well, Bob, the weather is holding steady while we all kind of get into election mode.
Right. So. Yeah, things looking good here.
Yeah,
There's one big storm over the Midwest. I mean, that could be a big deal in terms of what's going on in the national scene as far as that. Yeah, absolutely. Always a big deal. But for us, not a big deal. A beautiful shot from Margaret right here, getting a good shot of the sunset near the Ringling Bridge. Looking out over there, some altocumulus clouds. And Donna getting this shot as well. I believe that was from Inglewood, if I'm not mistaken. Here's a look at the tower cam look of the time lapse of our sunset tonight. Beautiful out there, looking over Sarasota Bay. And sunset an hour earlier, so right around 5:45. And that is going to stay with a northeast wind. We're going to stay with a northeast wind, it looks like, as high pressure dominates the weather off the Carolina coast for Tuesday. But that high will eventually break down, head off into the Atlantic, and then a cold front will move through. Now, this next cold front is not all that strong. It's not going to cause us to break out the jackets and sweaters anytime soon, but it will cool us down to slightly below average temperatures, I believe, by Thursday. Some showers down to our south, heading away from the state. These are being held off by that high pressure ridge over the Carolina coast now. So with that east and northeasterly wind, this is being held back temporarily. As the front moves through, there's not going to be a lot of moisture to deal with, so we're not anticipating a lot of rainfall, though we could use it. We're not going to get much. A few spotty showers are possible late Wednesday. 67 degrees right now, and the humidity at 76%, east wind at 6, and the pressure 3019. It's way up there. That continues to rise. The high today, it was another warm one, although it wasn't too bad. 85 degrees, the record high 90, set back in 1996. It has been a warm fall thus far, and temperatures normally right there at 81 degrees for a high, so we were well above the low too. No rainfall to report, and looks like it'll stay dry tomorrow. Wednesday, maybe a few showers around. It's down to 59 in Jacksonville, 68 degrees in Orlando, 69 in Pensacola, and 75. Still pretty warm in Key West, 74 in Miami, and temperatures around town in the upper 50s in the inland areas, low to mid 60s, and then upper 60s right on the water. So you can see there's quite a spread there in terms of temperature. 10 degrees from Arcadia to Cortez, and that's a result of a little bit of a west wind there and near the water, where water temperatures are still pretty warm, right around 75 degrees. The forecast looks like this throughout the day on Tuesday. We'll start off with sunshine, a few clouds around in the afternoon and evening. The higher level of variety of clouds will move through with those storms well to the west of us, some of the high tops being blown off and carried in our direction. But generally, temperatures a couple degrees above average once again. As I mentioned, this is the storm that we'll watch as it spreads off toward the northeast very slowly, and the actual low pressure center right there, and that will stay far enough away from us, so we're not going to see the tremendous lift that you can get if the storms develop a little bit further off to the south. As far as our wind flow analysis goes, we'll stay out of the northeast and east tomorrow, but eventually it will change around to more of a northwesterly direction. That happens late Wednesday night and Thursday morning, and you'll see that front coming down. Here it is by Wednesday night, right over the top of us. Again, a few showers out there in the Gulf of Mexico, and then it sweeps on through and high pressure builds in behind it. An upper level low continues to spin off the northeast coast. That's heading off to the east, and nothing going on in the tropics right now. We'll keep an eye on a couple weeks left before the official end of the hurricane season. You can see those temperatures already starting to drop behind that front into the 30s in places like Denver and into North Dakota. For boaters tomorrow, east winds 10 to 15 knots, a little breezy out there. Seas running right around 2 to 3 feet. The water temperature now cooled to 74 degrees and 81 the high for the beaches tomorrow. Low tide upcoming at 12:54, and the forecast tonight partly cloudy, 65, and east to northeast winds tomorrow. Look for partly cloudy skies by the afternoon, high of 83, and east winds at 5 to 15. The extended forecast, there's that slight chance for showers late Wednesday, turning just a little bit cooler, and lows right around 60 degrees, fairly average as we move through the weekend. Haley?
Thank you, Bob. More grim news from South Carolina tonight. The investigation into a possible serial killer has led to the discovery of a third body. Search teams scoured on this property here for a fifth day. 2 more bodies were found in grave sites. Colehep reportedly pointed out to investigators that is the suspect on the same property where they found Kayla Brown chained and locked inside a shipping container, and her boyfriend's body in a shallow grave. Investigators say Colehep has also confessed to gunning down 4 people in a motorcycle shop in 2003. A judge is detailing part of his rationale behind closing a hearing in Dylan Roof's trial. Roof is accused of fatally shooting 9 black church members in Charleston last year. Jury selection for his trial was scheduled to begin today, but instead the judge held a closed hearing at the request of Roof's lawyers. Later, the judge defended his decision, saying that coverage of Roof's trial has been widespread and that the matters discussed in the closed hearing could harm his right to a fair trial if jurors overheard the information. Jury selection is now set to resume on Wednesday. New details tonight on what could have sickened more than 20 children at a South Florida preschool. Police in Lauderhill, which is near Fort Lauderdale, say 19 children from Ave Marie Friends Preparatory School were loaded onto ambulances this afternoon and taken to 3 nearby hospitals after suffering from nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and dehydration. But the report says a total of 29 children eventually showed symptoms, and some were driven to the hospital by their families.
She's throwing up constantly, and she's like shaking, and she's like in and out. The boss, the director, was telling me, is like, oh, my daughter's throwing up. It's one child that's throwing up. But when I went there, all the kids are throwing up. Not one child is not throwing up. Every kid is throwing up.
A hazmat crew searched the building and did not find a gas leak, so fire officials believe food poisoning is to blame. The food was reportedly catered. Florida's Department of Health and Department of Children's Services are both investigating. Another sign the state of Florida is recovering from Hurricane Matthew. State Road A1A in Flagler Beach, Florida is now back open. A1A was closed for nearly a month after Hurricane Matthew rolled through and caused severe damage. It left caved-in sections of the road and washed out 5,000 feet of sidewalk. A construction crew worked around the clock to get repairs done in 18 days. Local business owners are relieved. They say they lost half their customers in the hurricane's wake.
No one has any idea of how tremendous this is now. Now we can all get back to open. My 85 employees come back to work, and thank God all the other restaurants now with A1A being back open. I mean, I'm gonna melt now because our business is back now.
A Flagler Beach official says about 5,000 people traveled that section of A1A daily. A guitarist was going out of his way to say thank you to a Lakewood Ranch hand surgeon. Maurice Myers' arthritic thumb and trigger finger not only prevented him from effectively working as a restaurant manager, but also hampered him from playing guitar in his band at church with his son. Dr. Sarah Simmons of Coastal Orthopedics successfully performed a two-part surgery. She says she was surprised when she saw a YouTube video that Myers made for her showing his dexterity and finger-picking skills.
I open it up and it's this YouTube video and I'm at home on the couch and I'm like, oh my God, is this? And my husband was there and I showed it to my husband and we were like, he said, wow, he's like, who is this guy? And I said, it's a patient I operated on. And he's like, wow, he's a great guitarist. I said, I know, look at his hands.
So I said, thank you for allowing me to play, you know, my guitar again with my family, my church, my friends, you know, thank you.
Myers has made a full recovery. He's back to playing with his band and his son, and Dr. Simmons attributes his speedy recovery to a great condition prior to the procedure. Congrats to him. Sports is next, but first, here's Jimmy Kimmel.
It's almost over if you had thrown that ball into the dugout with a big smile on your face. It would have been the worst thing that ever happened to anyone. I know.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Are you considering joint replacement or revision surgery? Consider this. Dr. Edward Stolarski has performed thousands of successful joint replacement procedures and trained surgeons from all over the world. Using advanced technologies, Dr. Stolarski is able to perform some of the most complex surgeries.
I wish I knew about Dr. Stolarski much sooner.
After the surgery, I don't have any pain. It's like I've got a 16-year-old hip.
My name's Ed Stolarski. What I really do is I give people back their life.
Schedule a consultation today.
Enjoy fine wine, craft beer, and delicious foods, all while supporting a great cause at the 15th Annual Suncoast Food and Wine Festival, Saturday, November 12th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Sarasota Polo Club. Taste hundreds of wines from around the world and sample cuisine from the area's finest restaurants. Watch live cooking demonstrations from local chefs and take part in a silent auction to bid on creative prize packages that will delight any foodie or wine connoisseur. The event will feature live music by Kettle of Fish. There's free parking and all proceeds benefit a variety of local charities and Rotary Club projects. Don't miss this year's Suncoast Food and Wine Festival. Saturday, November 12th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Sarasota Polo Club. For tickets and information, visit suncoastfoodandwinefest.com.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter mile north of University Parkway.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, you'll always get the most for your money. More years, more miles, more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. And right now, you can lease the most award-winning small SUV on the planet. A new 2017 Subaru Forester for just $209 a month. Or get 0% financing, complimentary maintenance included at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Now, sports.
An in-state rivalry on the ice tonight. The Tampa Bay Lightning taking on the Florida Panthers in Miami. And in the first period, the Panthers on a power play, and during the face-off, Jonathan Marchessault scores on the wrist shot. Pretty quiet in the second, but then in the third, the Lightning's Andre Palat gets a lucky break, tying the game up 1-1. But the Panthers went on to score two more, winning this one 3-1. An exciting Monday Night Football matchup thanks to the Seattle Seahawks and Buffalo Bills. And in the fourth quarter, about 8 minutes to go, Seahawks are winning this one 31-25. Another running back goes on the injured reserve list for the Buccaneers. Antoine Smith will miss the rest of the season with a knee injury suffered during Thursday night's loss to Atlanta. The team promoting running back Russell Hansbrough from the practice squad. Starting running back Doug Martin hasn't played since week 2 of the season because of a hamstring injury. Tampa Bay also placing defensive end Howard Jones on the injured reserve. The struggling Bucs will host the Chicago Bears on Sunday. Number 22, Florida will be without quarterback Luke Del Rio and 3 more starters against South Carolina on Saturday. Coach Jim McElwain saying today Del Rio will miss the game and maybe the rest of the season with a right shoulder injury. Del Rio played through the pain on a 31-10 loss at Arkansas on Saturday. The Gators will also be without both starting linebackers on defense and their starting center on offense. That's a look at sports. We'll have tonight's winning lotto numbers straight ahead.
It's the Crystal Classic International Sand Sculpting Festival on Siesta Beach, November 11th through 15th, with 24 of the world's best sand sculptors. Bring the family for new hands-on kids activities, live music, food, sand sculpting lessons, and more. See SiestaKeyCrystalClassic.com for details.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
ABC7 News at 7, weeknights.
The celebration is heating up and the prices just keep getting better during the Jeep Celebration event going on now at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Come shop the area's largest selection of Jeep Grand Cherokees or get big savings on a new Jeep Cherokee for as little as $19,999. Stop by today and drive away in a brand new Jeep Compass for just $15,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WindGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WindGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
If you have a suspicion for harboring prostate cancer, we have a way of diagnosing by using an exquisite instrument called 3-dimensional color flow power Doppler ultrasound. Using this system, we can identify abnormalities within the prostate that you could otherwise never detect. The Dottoli Cancer Center is the only center in the southeastern United States which has this technology. If you have prostate cancer, we will find it.
They care. They take the time to understand you, take the time to understand your case.
There's no better satisfaction to me than to see a client who is happy because of the job we've done for them.
It's really actually very comforting to know that there's someone that you've heard of and you're getting recommendations about
that you can turn to when you have a problem.
I felt like I had a partner in this, and he was going to be by my side.
Come see the Crystal Classic International Sand Sculpting Festival November 11th through 15th on Siesta Beach. Check out the Crystal Classic Party Tent, produced by Siesta Key Chamber of Commerce and Moat Marine. Details including remote parking via SCAT. Visit siestakeycrystalclassic.com.
Finally, tonight, another reminder you really don't have a good excuse not to vote. Astronaut Shane Kimbrough recently filed his ballot for the presidential election while he was on board the International Space Station. So how does an astronaut vote in space? Well, about a year before launch, astronauts decide what elections that they would like to participate in. And then 6 months later, they receive an application for an absentee ballot. So get that done.
Okay, sounds good.
And like Bob said, the weather's not going to stop you from getting to the polls.
Not here. It's going to be nice. It's going to be nice all day long. So get out there and do your duty. You know,
right.
That's right.
If you early voted, you can't go again.
That's right.
But don't go twice. But if you haven't, please head to the polls tomorrow. And we'll be here late with you tonight, tomorrow night, excuse me, and tune in for all of our election results here on ABC7. See you then.